Okay, so 3B.5 part 2 is solve the following equations with degrees greater than 2 by factoring. So that means that we're going to have to factor, and more than likely we're factoring out a variable. Got it? Also that our leading coefficient may not be a 1, right? Have we learned things to be able to factor when it's not a 1? Yes. You have grouping, you have Xbox, whichever one is your choice. That is totally up to you, okay? Here we go. So we're going to make sure we factor out the GCF, factor completely after that, set each factor equal to 0, and then check our solution, okay? So we're going to set. So big part of Algebra 2 is you're not dealing with quadratics, is not the highest polynomial we go up to. We now can go up to cubics. We can now go up to quartics, which is a degree of 4. And so our degrees have increased. Does that make sense? So we're now at a third degree polynomial, a cube. Okay. So looking here, is there a variable GCF that I can factor out so that this can become a quadratic? Y. So I can factor each thing by Y. So we're going to take our GCF, which is Y, and factor it out. Y cubed divided by Y is 14Y squared divided by Y is, and then 49Y divided by Y is 49. Okay, and now we're going to ask ourselves, because our leading coefficient is a 1 Y squared, we're going to ask ourselves what multiplies to give me 49, but adds to give me 14. 7 squared, right? 7 times 7 is 49. 7 plus 7 is 14. So don't forget your GCF. So our factors are Y, and then Y plus 7 squared. Why is it squared? It's the same thing, okay? And this is all equal to, good job. So therefore, what would Y have to be for this to be 0? The first one would be 0, right? Y would have to just simply be 0. And then what's the second one? -7. I'll put X. Okay. Focus in language. All right, talk to me. We're gonna take it up a notch. We're good? I'm struggling. But then you should stop teaching. Here we go. Up a notch we go. All right. So for this one, again, we have a higher degree polynomial, but is there a GCF that we can factor out? 4. It's this time it's 4x. It's not just x, it is 4x. So we're going to factor out 4x. When we take out 4x, what are we left with? 4x, 6x squared. Perfect. Minus x minus 5. Perfect. Okay. All right. Here, can we do simple factoring? No. Why can't we do simple factoring? It's not a 1 anymore. It's not cast with a friendly 1. So now we have to use the x, right? So you're asking yourself for the x. The top of your x is your a times your c. So what is 6x squared times -5? -30. The bottom of your x is your middle. What is our middle? -x. What multiplies to give me -30? X squared, and adds to give me -x. And +5. Okay, you have the choice here to do the box or to do grouping. Doesn't matter which one you do. No. So if you choose to do the box, when you go in the box, make sure that what you're using is what you multiplied. Okay, so we did 6x squared and we did -5. And then our numbers that made it work. What was our numbers that made it work? -6x and 5x. Once you're in the box, it's all about the what? GCF. What is the greatest common factor of every row and every column? So the GCF here is what? 6 what? 6x. What's the GCF here? 5. GCF of my first column? X. GCF of my last column? -1. Okay, so now we can write our full factors. So our factors are, don't forget your GCF from your original, right? So our factors are 4x, 6x plus 5, and x minus 1 equal to 0. We haven't solved. What's our answers? What are x's? For the first one, what's this one? Yes. What would make 4x equal to 0? 0. Okay, on to the next. What would make this equal to 0? Well, what I need to do to get x by itself? And then do what? So my answer is -5/6. And then what would make this equal to 0? So my last answer is 1. Yes? Ponder. Okay, so the new part here is setting the factors equal to 0. What we've been working on for 2 weeks is factoring. That is not new. No, it's not. You have been here the whole time. That's a personal problem. But we've been working on this for 2 weeks now. The only new piece is at the end where we set each factor equal to 0. That's it. Okay? All right, let's try our last one. So this one, we have x minus 4 times x squared minus 3x plus 2. Question, is this fully factored? Why is it not fully factored? This one, right? It's a simple factor, though, because our leading coefficient is a 1. So what multiplies to give me +2, but adds to give me -3? What'd you say? There we go. -2 and -1. A negative times a negative makes a positive, but a negative plus a negative is still a negative. So our fully factor would be x minus 4 and x minus 2 and x minus 1 equal to 0. And now that we've gone through this, we can simply say that when it's fully factored, to find the answers, all you're doing is asking, what does x have to be to make each factor equal to 0? So what's my first answer? What's my second answer? And what's my last answer? And we're done. Okay. There is a 3B.5 assignment, but it's attached to 3B.6, which we don't do until tomorrow. Okay. So the assignment will open tomorrow. All right. Tonight, you're just focusing on making sure you get caught up on that list that was on the board.